Welcome to Our Home to Yours, a cooking channel where Extension professionals share some of their favorite recipes. My name is Jaelyn Munson and I'm an agent with Virginia Cooperative Extension. And today I'm going to share with you how to make a healthy version of a sweetbread, carrot raisin bread. Not only is this recipe full of fiber and other nutritional components that are good for our bodies, but it is also tasty. And don't let all of these ingredients intimidate you. Stick around and see how easy this recipe comes together. The first step in your recipe is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, which I've done. Now you're going to prepare your loaf pan. I have a 9x5 loaf pan here, which I'm going to spray the sides and the bottom with nonstick cooking spray. Then I have cut a piece of parchment paper to fit the bottom, which I'm going to place in the pan, and then spray this as well. This recipe calls for your flour to be sifted. So I'm going to do that, but a trick that I learned a while ago is to go ahead and add in the rest of the dry ingredients and sift those along with the flour. So I'm going to do that now. I've added in the 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, ½ cup sugar, 1 teaspoon baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, ½ teaspoon salt, and 1½ teaspoons ground cinnamon, and last of all the 1/4 teaspoon allspice. Now I'm just simply sifting all of this together, and I'm going to move on to the next step. In order to incorporate the dry and wet ingredients together, we're going to put the dry ingredients into a large mixing bowl. And then we have to form a little well in the middle of the dry ingredients where we'll pour the wet ingredients. So I'm going to make that well now, and that's what it looks like. Now let's mix together the wet ingredients. I have here the 1½ cups of finely shredded carrots. I added the ½ cup water and the slightly beaten egg, as well as 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I also added a ½ teaspoon of vanilla, and now what I'm going to add is the 1/4 cup of raisins, and you can use whatever variety of raisins you like. You like the golden raisins or just regular raisins. I'm going to add those in. And then today I'm adding in a 1/4 cup of walnuts because they do add fiber as well as some healthy fats to the recipe. But again, you can use whatever variety of nuts you would like. And I'm going to just gently mix all of this together until well incorporated. Now we just need to mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, and we're going to do that by just simply pouring this wet ingredients mixture into the little well that we made into the dry ingredients. Making sure to get all of it out of the bowl. And then we're going to mix them both together. And it's important to just mix them until incorporated and not to overmix. That can cause the bread to dry out in the oven as it bakes. Okay, so I poured my batter into the prepared loaf pan and it's ready to go in the oven. I'm going to bake this for 50 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. If you are using a thin aluminum pan, you do need to reduce the bake time about 5 to 10 minutes because those tend to bake a lot faster than using a regular metal pan. Okay, so my carrot raisin bread is out of the oven and it's been cooling here on the wire rack for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to take my little spatula and run it along the sides to loosen the edges so it comes out really clean and easy when I turn it out. I will let it sit here for about another hour to completely cool before I actually turn it out. Now the real treat, to taste the final product. So I have a little bit of reduced fat cream cheese here that I'm going to smear on my slice. You can just simply use a healthy butter or a little bit of real butter. But let's taste it and see how it is. Oh, that's delicious. I love the raisins and the walnuts in it to give a little bit of texture. So be sure to try this out. join us again from our home to yours.